redder shade of neck on a whiter shade of trash, and this emery board is giving me a rash. I'm flat out.
You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy.
And now, the hunt for the perfect album.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the hunt for the perfect album with B. Dizzle and Dave. How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
Are you? Okay, I genuinely don't know. Like I said last week, I think there's a 50-50 chance that you'll very much dislike a lot of this album. I don't know how much of it you'll enjoy. As I said, it is very long. It's a compilation best of, so there's 23 tracks, an hour 13 total, and it
I like
spans.
the album cover.
Oh, it's
The album
fucking
cover's
great.
sick.
Yeah,
I'd like that on a shirt.
Yeah, it is sick. So, as I said, this kind of spans the initial half of Pavement's career, which is like 89 to 99. This compilation being released in 2010, which I believe is when they reformed. So, let's get straight into it. Were there any of these tracks that you were familiar with? Being a best of, obviously, it's not a single track.
Of a single song, even
wow.
the Cut Your Hair that you said was a
Cut Your Hair was a bit of a hit.
I think it's wild to have a greatest hits album for a band that seemingly doesn't actually have any hits.
No, I mean, it's very much. I mean, it's the same thing as, the Lucksmiths putting out Cartography for Beginners, kind of a best of the Lucksmiths. I mean, to a certain niche, to the audience that like Pavement are a big deal. Like, to the indie rock community, Pavement are very well known. In fact, just this year, there was a documentary put out about them, which I believe even played in cinemas. Like, not everywhere. I don't think we got it here in Canberra. But, so, like, to a certain subset of people, Pavement are a big enough deal to have a compilation album. So,
enough to know, and I knew the name. I knew of Pavement's existence all through uni. They were like I knew Cake existed. I just only knew like one song or something. So I knew they existed. Like I said before, I knew of Stephen Malkmus.
Yeah,
but not because of Pavement. I can't think what it is. I know because I did, just out of curiosity, I don't normally, but I did read briefly up about Pavement, and I know he was involved in what was it called? I think it was called Kim's Bedroom. It was a kind of side thing that Thurston Moore and Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth did, and I think he was in that. So maybe that's where I know his name from. Yeah. But weirdly, almost everything that I read about Pavement and about Stephen Malkmus equate them with The Fall.
Okay.
A British, like, post-punk band. And particularly, apparently there was a lot of stuff written that were equating Stephen Malkmus with Mark E. Smith from The Fall, to the point where I think there was like not a rivalry, but like Mark E. Smith, I think, got rankled quite a bit about that and had a few statements going, no, they're posers, they're pretenders, they're nowhere near as good as us, whatever. But I didn't hear really through the whole 20 whatever songs on this, I didn't get The Fall at all.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I don't know if you or others obviously have, because I've kept reading all these things. I got a lot more. I mean, the familiar touch points for me were tracks that sounded like they had some stuff in common with, like, Dinosaur Jr., or there were some tracks that felt a bit Sonic Youth, some of the heavier tracks, or I even got some Pixies on some of the stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's quite a lot of humour in a lot of the lyrics.
Yeah.
And I mean, time-wise, that makes sense to me, in the early 90s, whatever. But I didn't get The Fall at all. The 70s post didn't get that at all. So I don't know if I'm missing something.
I mean, maybe that's the stuff that wouldn't make this compilation. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I can't say I'm too familiar with the full.
I liked it. It's
nice.
The one thing I will say is, and this, I'm sure this will come with further listens, because of the size of this.
Yeah.
This is not the normal like 8 or 10 track album. I couldn't really tell you, and I will as we go through and you play stuff. I'll go, yes, it's that one, and I like that, or that's not one of my favorites. I can't really remember many of the tracks. There's 2 or 3, or maybe a few more than that, where I'll remember from the name of the track. That's one of the ones I liked, or that's one of the heavier ones, or the slower ones, or whatever. I couldn't tell you really from a track listing where the high points for me were.
Interesting. Okay.
I can say overall I liked it very much. It took me back to the 90s. It took me back to Dinosaur Jr. It took me back to a lot of the stuff I did listen to then.
Well, I wonder what the best way to attack this is then. So given that there are, like I said, 23 songs, maybe I should just pick the ones that are my favourites.
Pick the ones that are your favourites, and there are 2 or 3 that I know I want to shout out as ones I really liked, but they're mainly towards the latter end.
Okay, cool. All right.
And I'll make sure you don't skip them.
Yeah, if there's... Okay. Well, I mean, Gold Sounds, great opening to this compilation. Love this track.
Go back to those gold sounds and keep my advent to yourself, because it's nothing I don't like. Is it a crisis or a boring change when it's central, so essential? It has a nice ring when you laugh at the low-life opinions, and they're coming to the chorus now. I keep my address to yourself, 'cause we need secrets. We need secrets back right now. Because I never...
I know that this happens to me a lot. I know that a lot of people aren't going to like Stephen Malkmus's voice. I love it. I love it personally. Anyone who was
listening to alternative music in the early 90s, that is a type of voice that is not unfamiliar. There's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not saying that a lot of people sound like him, but that kind of not traditionally, there's not beautiful tonality or anything.
Yeah.
But it's a type of voice that's very much of a time and place, and
and that's why I like Gold Sounds.
So it works for me.
That's why I like Gold Sounds. A lot of the tracks don't have a great deal of what you'd call vocal melody. I feel like a lot of the tracks he is very more monotonous, a little bit more of that apathetic style of singing. Yeah. So I really like that we open with one which has such an interesting melody, while the musical instruments actually aren't that over the top. So big fan of that track.
Is how is this collection arranged? Is this sort of going through largely chronologically from the early stuff to the late stuff? Is it just higgledy-piggledy? Or?
I don't believe so. My memory is that it is just a bit all over the place. Hang on.
Because it certainly seems that way. You've got a huge amount of variety track to track. It's not like you're starting
it is
and going through.
It is just all over the place. So that opening track, Gold Sounds, is from Crooked Rain 94. Then you go into 92. Track 3 is from an EP in 91. So it's all over the shop. It's not in any particular order.
Oh, that kind of fits with the experience I had.
Which I think is a good way to do it. I think that if it did go in order, firstly, because they did start off as such a lo-fi band, having all of that lo-fi stuff up front, I think would kind of interfere with the listening order of the songs. So, I mean, my favorite track from side A of this set is Stereo. I love this track.
They tend to wiggle when they walk. The infrastructure rots, and the owners hate the jocks with their agents and their dates. If the signatures are checked.
You'll just have to wait.
And we're counting up the instants that we saved. Tired nation so depraved. From the cheap seats see us wave to the camera. It took a giant ramrod to raise the demon settlement. But hi-ho, silver ride. Hi-ho, silver ride. Take another ride to see me home. Listen to me. I'm on the stereo. Stereo. My baby, 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 baby. Get me malaria. Stereo.
Oh fuck! I love that track so much.
That was the track probably that made me go, like I liked it all, but it was when I hit that track that I went, oh, okay, I'm back in the 90s now, because you start out with this really bass forward, almost Primus feel.
Yeah. That's a good
goes
shout.
into Pixies, where I'm sort of hearing Black Francis going, everything is going to burn. Well, I'll take it. And then suddenly it's Sonic Youth for the second half of it. When the
Listen
guitars
to
really
me. I'm on the stereo. Oh
it's
man,
really that was a really good, and that was the one that made me go, oh, okay. You didn't need to tell me when this music came out.
Yeah.
This is so of a time and place.
Yeah, oh yeah, I adore this. I'm surprised that you were saying earlier that a lot of your favorites are kind of maybe towards the end.
Not a lot. Just the two or three where I specifically, and it's probably because they're at the end, and I was sort of going, how many more of these are there? There's 20 something. Where I actively remember the track name as being one of the ones I love. So like Stereo, that was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
I just didn't remember what it was called. I just knew there was one in there that kind of made me think, oh, Pixies.
I reckon that we'll have different favorites, which is awesome. I actually love that, because then we get to talk about different things. On side B, obviously, so Cut Your Hair is the track that I've referenced before as the one that I thought you might have been familiar with.
Because I didn't find this a particular standout at all, and it surprised me that this was one that was a hit, because it's one of the less memorable. It's not bad, I like it fine, but it didn't...
Go and cut your hair. Do you think it's gonna make him change? I'm just a boy with a new haircut, and that's a pretty nice haircut. Charge it like a puzzle, hitmen wearing muzzles. Hesitate to die, look around. The second drummer drowned, this telephone is found.
It's probably the most pop-forward track.
I mean, that...
Yeah.
It seems a bit familiar, but not hugely.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though, my recollection of the early 90s is that we all just had long, greasy hair.
Yep.
A lot of people singing about haircuts and hairdos. You got Beck with Devil's Haircut. You've got Cut Your Hair. It's just like, well, none of us cut our hair. We barely washed it. What are you talking about? I can't relate to that.
Man, we should at some point we should do, like, you know, top songs of the 90s or top films of the 90s or something, and we should share our old photos from back then. I had some pretty long hair going on.
I would be glad to do that, because I looked a lot better back then. I think that was probably my most handsome little period of 5 or 6 years.
My favorite track from this compilation, and probably my favorite Pavement song, hands down, always been one of my favorites, is actually the next track, Shady Lane.
I do remember liking it because there were a couple where they're kind of slash names.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you about that, whether that's...
Well, this is virtually two songs.
Version or something? Or
no, the original track is exactly the same. And so what you'll notice when you listen to this track is Shady Lane, the song, it's actually quite a short song, I'd say 2 minutes tops. Then there's about 10 seconds of silence, and then you get an instrumental piece afterwards, which is not related to Shady Lane at all. It is very bizarrely kind of two separate songs, and the non-remastered version is exactly the same.
Because one of the ones I really like on, I don't know if it's side 3 or 4, but it's towards the latter half. Is again da 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 slash da da da. You know.
Yeah.
Whether it's a medley or not, I'm sure you'll tell me when we get to it. But I noted there were a few that had that.
Yeah, but I love Shady Lane. Definitely my favorite track.
Blind date with the chancer, we had oysters and dry lancers, and the check when it arrived, we went Dutch, 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 Dutch. A redder shade of neck on a whiter shade of trash, and this emery board is giving me a rash. I'm flat out. You're so beautiful to look at when you cry. Freeze, don't move. You've been chosen as an extra in the movie adaptation of the sequel to your life. A shady lane, everybody wants one. A shady.
I adore that song so much.
No, I liked it. It would be probably in the top, probably, I don't know, 10 or something.
Yeah.
I want to say I liked Here. I don't remember it, but the name is striking a chord.
For success, but success it never comes, and I'm the only one who laughs at your jokes when they are so bad, and your jokes are always bad, but they're not as bad as this. Come join us in a prayer.
Yeah, I do love this track.
Yeah,
And-
I
and-
was right. It gave me all sorts of Velvet Underground sort of feels. And,
Yeah.
I really.
And
liked
you
that.
mentioned at the head kind of, his lyrics having quite a bit of humor to them and stuff. And yeah, love it. One of my favorites, which Noosk hates this song. I don't know why. I'm curious to hear what you think. I really love Range Life. It's got almost a country twang to it.
After the glow, the scene, the stage, the set, and talk becomes slow, but there's one thing I'll never forget. Hey, you gotta pay your dues before you pay the rent. Over the turnstiles and out in the traffic, there's ways to live, and it's the way I'm living, right or wrong. It's all that I can do, and I wouldn't wanna let you be. I wanna range life if I could
Settle down. Man.
It's a really weird kind of discordant nature to that song.
Yeah, which there is to a lot of their
Not only-
songs. Yeah.
The vocals have this kind of almost discordant note, where it's almost pitchy at points.
It's almost what you'd call out of tune, but it's how it's meant to be sung.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Because the instrumentation as well is kind of gets weirdly discordant in points. It's just like, it's like half a tone out or something.
Yeah.
But it works. It's very
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite clever, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Spit on a Stranger is another one that I really
That's
like.
one
that,
of the ones. We're getting to a few of the ones where I actually remember the names now, and that's one of
Yeah,
them.
cool. Yeah. This one, I believe, may have been mildly a hit. It has been covered, and at least some of the covers have been bigger. But yeah, I think the 88 may have covered it, and the cover may have even appeared in like How I Met Your Mother or something. But I love this track.
However you feel, whatever it takes, whenever it's real, whatever awaits, whatever you need, however so slight, whenever it's real.
weird mix of White Album Beatles like Blackbirds.
Yeah.
The Smiths talking about spitting on strangers.
Coming up soon, I think we're getting to the one that you referenced earlier with the slash in it, which is Trigger Cut /
That's
Wounded
one of the
Kite at
ones
17.
I think I liked because I
Yeah.
remember the title of it is so fucking bonkers weird.
So again, that track I do believe is a bit of a medley, but that is how it was released on the album. So that was off their first album.
Okay.
But from memory, that track was released as a single, and when they released the single, it was only Trigger Cut, is my memory of it.
Okay.
Lies and betrayals, fruit-covered nails, electricity and lust won't break the door. I've got a heavy coat, it's filled with rocks and sand, and if I lose it, I'll be coming back today. I'll be coming back today.
Another one that mixes, that really discordant sound with then quite a kind of standard chorus chord progression. Like it's, yeah. I just think they're really interesting songwriters. So how are you scoring this then? Do you feel like you're able to score this as an album, or
think
did I
overall,
kind of screw the pooch by going
No,
with a
I think-
compilation?
I mean, it's kind of tanking it a little bit when you're literally giving me this is the best shit they've ever done.
Yeah.
But no, like it's a solid 8. There's I really like the sound and the style. I think it was a safe bet because of
Nice.
my
Oh, that's
age,
good.
when I was listening to music at uni, etc. This is right in that sweet spot with where how I managed to miss them completely when I was listening to Dinosaur Jr. and Sonic Youth and Pixies and all these other things that are sort of contemporaneous and have certainly with some tracks that a fairly strong like stylistic link.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely go check out actual albums and
Yeah,
things.
nice. Cool.
Yeah. No, very, very good. Very, very good.
Nice. All right, well, what are you giving me next week?
Fucking fart biscuits. See, I know the artist I want to give you, but I keep chopping and changing on what album. How familiar are you with Phil Oakes?
Not at all. I do not know that name.
Oh, okay. So he was a American folk singer in the late 60s, big influence on and contemporaneous with Bob Dylan and
Yeah.
that sort of ilk. All right. I'm going to give you, and I'm not sure if it's on Spotify, so I haven't checked this. It is widely regarded as not his best album, but it's the one that introduced me to him, and it's the one that I fell in
Perfect.
love with. So
Nothing wrong with that.
it's an album called Tape from California
Okay.
from
yeah, cool.
1968 from Phil Oakes, Ochs. If it is not on Spotify, I'll work out a way to rip it off vinyl or something and send it
Yeah,
to you.
we'll work it out. Nice.
So yeah, it is. If you go looking at Phil Oakes' albums ranked, and I think he had about 8 or 10 actual albums all up, it's very rarely in even the top half because as folk albums they got more accomplished, etc. But it's the one I fell in love with, and it's still my favourite. So
Perfect. I'm looking forward to it. I love some folk. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here at The Hunt for the Perfect Album. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at pottymouthradio.com or pottymouthradio@gmail.com. You can go check out the Facebook listener community. And I'm going to play us out. Which track am I going to go with? I'm going to go with Heaven is a Truck.
Is a truck. It got stuck on the breeze. Asked the driver nicely, I need a lift, I need release. sharks can't fly. I know the sharks, they don't have wings.